It is Elimination Tuesday for the Speed Racing Network Glytch Truck Series, round 13 of 18 from the virtual Kansas Speedway. I am Emerson Arden. I have my colleague Edward Shearer alongside myself in the virtual booth this evening, and we're excited to be bringing you live coverage here from Kansas City, Kansas. Last time out, it was a chaotic time at The Rock. We had an incident-filled race that saw Kyle Spees taking it to victory lane once again. Now tonight, we will lock in our 15 different playoff competitors with a surefire fun run tonight coming up in Kansas. Ed, welcome here to Kansas. It's going to be a fun night tonight. Elimination Tuesday, we will solidify our 15 driver grid. I guess it's time to take a look at the point standings coming into today's race. And here are those points. coming into the race today. And you can see, obviously, we have 6 winners who are locked in. And then we have Greathouse, Gerwitz, McKinney. They have locked in via points. And now the drivers not locked, you see those names in white above the cut line: Harris, Morrow, Kalal, Park, DeLonga, Godinez. They all mathematically could fall out of this top 15 tonight. It's all dependent again on how those drivers in red do. Now also, these are all 24 drivers eligible, so if somebody wins tonight's race that isn't on this list right here, or that isn't, you know, between 7th and 24th in the points, they will not lock into the playoffs with it. So they have to make 9 starts on the season. So taking a look at these points, Ed, what is the temperature that you're kind of gauging here? Really, that main battles between Godinez and Slider.
I feel like you gotta look from maybe DeLong all the way to maybe like Ben or Dan Park for Sean Corcoran back in 20th. I mean, the way these points can battle, I mean, you can play some strategy, maybe go get the stage win. That's 10 points right there. That could change everything from, you know, Sean Corcoran from 26 back only to 16, and hoping Dylan Godinez or maybe also DeLong have a tough night. But if I'm Ben Park, Scott Colal, Ben Morrow, Andrew Harris, I just want to make it to the end, basically. If I don't get points, I don't get points, but I still want to try as hard as I can to finish. Kansas being one of my favorite 1.5 mile tracks, and we're either going to see a lot of trucks running the bottom to save some tire, or we're going to see a lot of Kyle Larson looking drivers running that high lane all the way on the top, where these trucks are going to get absolutely sideways just about on a corner exit. We'll probably see a lot of that tonight, but it's going to be a little late night truck racing here at Kansas. I'm looking forward to it, Emerson, as we're getting ready to grid up and go green soon.
Absolutely, and our starting lineup is up on the screen. It's time to get down to action here for Elimination Tuesday from the Kansas Speedway. Dalton McKinney on the pole for tonight's race. It's Ben Park to his outside, Matthew Greathouse, Nathan De La Rosa, Corey Stahl, Kyle Spees, Michael Lepicki for a great qualifying run there up to 7, Ben Morrow 8th, Daniel Park, and Joe Ruggles that's up 10, Ed.
Yeah, Scott Colal, one of those drivers on the inside, looking to have a good night and starting in 11, with Sean Corcoran, one of the outside drivers in 12th, looking to get in. Also DeLong, Sean Long right now 13th and 14th, Michael Seidor 15th. Joshua Marcy in the 35 truck in 16th, with Jeffrey Racky, our previous champion, ran out 17th. Wally Babb in the 99 and 18th. Jason Green in the 55 truck in 19th, and Jason Cracky rounds out your top 20.
Rounding out our 27 driver grid this evening, Aaron Gerwitz in the 9 machine will start 21st. It's Dustin Slider, who enters tonight's race 7 points below the cut line. Look for him to really be going at it to try to stay up ahead of Godinez and gain those 7 points. Row 12 will find Daniel Miglin and Zachary Hines. Godinez, the other end of that cut line, Ed. There he is starting 25th. He's deep in the hole tonight. Spencer Brown rounds out row 13. And Michigan race winner, he needed to take tonight's green flag. He starts 27th. If he takes the green flag, Connor Cunningham is in to the Speed Racing Network Glytch Truck Series playoffs. And so that is how they will all start tonight's race. And the field is already working their way around the high banks here at the Kansas Speedway. 24 degrees of banking all the way around these high banked corners. It's a nice little D-shaped oval here on the front stretch, and a huge shout out to everyone watching at home. We're getting ready for some fun racing tonight here at the Kansas Speedway as the iRacing.com safety vehicle finds its safety down in the pit lane. Green flag is in the air. Elimination Tuesday is underway. There it is after the opening lap. It is Dalton McKinney out in front and running this bad boy to the bottom. You'll notice these trucks, they really like the bottom early here, Ed. It's later in the run that you'll really see these drivers go up against that outside wall. I was privy to run a truck series race at Kansas on Wednesday, and it was a lot of fun, I'll tell you that. These drivers are running near wide open here for a good 15-20 laps, and then that, you know, tire grip falls away, you're going to be shifting right up to that high side, and McKinney going fastest right now. He's not saving anything.
No, absolutely. There's going to be a lot of bottom feeding right now, probably for the majority of, I would say, maybe the first 15, 20 laps. And then I think we'll start to see some of these trucks maybe start to migrate over to the top as we see some already in the back trying to get desperate for track position in the back of the field, trying to make their way up front. But not a great start for our outside pole sitter and Ben Park, who's all the way back to 8th right now, just behind his brother Dan Park. Dalton McKinney, though, leading the first couple of laps here with Matt Grayhouse in 2nd. Nathan De La Rosa with a great start, up to 3rd already.
Oh, yeah.
Corey Stahl 4th, Mike Lepicki 5th. You know, all drivers that we've talked about plenty this season, all looking to end on a high note to end this regular season off. But it's going to be interesting to see who's going to prevail in the long run here. I mean, I'm starting to see a lot more and more trucks. I mean, all the way back to, from what I can see, about Scott Kowal all the way in 9th. Everybody's pretty much running bottom. Then we have a battle for 10th between Joe Ruggles and Austin DeLong and Sean Long, all battling for that last spot in the top 10.
Yeah, Ruggles just making his return to Speed Racing Network competition. Spent most of the season out on the sidelines, decided, you know what? I like it out here. I'm going to rough it up with these boys. He decided to come back. He reached out to JB and the boys. They said, say okay if you run. And so here he is, Joe Ruggles Jr. in that iconic red machine, number 96. I say iconic because if you've been in SRN for many a season the way Ed and I have, you will know Joe Ruggles.
Yes, absolutely. Everybody knows Joe Ruggles.
To the inside there's Sean Long.
Yeah, 89 truck of Austin DeLong's got to be a little bit more aggressive, I feel like. He's one of those trucks that is barely looking in. He needs a good points night. He's got to get inside this top 10, and there's a lot of trucks behind them that are also trying. There's a decent gap, actually, as you see there on the camera, from Scott Cole in 9th all the way back here to Joe Ruggles and Sean Long in 10th. So this pack got to get a little bit more organized and maybe start trying to run some decent lap times to get back up to the top 9, maybe 10 trucks.
Tight here.
Making a type move for the top 3.
Side by side for that 3rd position. Stahl down low, De La Rosa up high, and right behind is Daniel Park and Michael Lepicki. Interesting there with Michael Lepicki. Won 2 races last season. Was a contact there with Corey Stahl. Off in the corner, more contact. We're not done yet.
I don't know if Mike liked that little bit of contact that first go around. I think he's trying to show that, hey, I'm up here, buddy. I mean, your spotter can say whatever he wants, but I am here. I am not lifting. I'm not letting you in. Looks like Mike's going to try to maybe make the crossover work down in turns 2. Try to bottom side here in turns 3. See if he can get the pass done.
So Lepicki trying to surge for 5th. He'll get the pass made. How about Daniel Park rising to the occasion? Daniel Park trying to clear for 3rd on Nathan De La Rosa. Big run.
Yeah, Dan's really doing a nice job making this top lane work. Actually, not the top, maybe more the second lane work. That second lane is also very much basically the top lane in this, Emerson. I mean, everybody's going to want to migrate over that wall eventually, but that second lane has a little bit more speed in it than that bottom lane than some of the other tracks that we go to.
Yeah, Park is cleared to 3rd. He now sets his sights on Matthew Greathouse, and Lepicki trying to follow suit behind. So just to finish up the point I was making on Lepicki earlier before he was getting elbows out with Stahl, Lepicki won 2 races last season, made his way into the playoffs, was a force to be reckoned with in the playoffs last season. But this year, just personal things came up, not able to make those starts. Michael Lepicki is not playoff eligible this season due to starts this season. So we'll see if Lepicki sticks around, see if he can maybe turn things back around to the way they were going after last season, if he sticks through the end of this one into next season.
Yeah, but basically off of last season too, Emerson, I mean, those 2 wins, he's a contender this year for any race win possible.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we saw at Texas with that fuel mileage race. He was up there for it. And there's a lot of tracks on the playoff schedule that do go into Mike's favor, as you see him battling it inside now. Nathan De Rosa for that 4th spot right now, trying to get clear, but it looks like Corey Stahl's taking a peek on the outside of him. I don't know if Mike's going to be a little bit nicer going into the little tussle that they had on the front straightaway there. I think Mike's going to try to power it down, maybe try to squeeze in the middle, it looked like, for a second. I think he's going to try to stay on this bottom lane here. This second lane's really starting to work for some of these guys. I think they're starting to realize, can't be as patient as we want to. That first stage comes up in lap 40. So a lot of these drivers that need stage points trying to make it over the front.
I was gonna say, Ed, you can now start to see not as many bottom feeders anymore. We're about 10 laps, 12 laps to be exact, into the run. These drivers are starting to move up the track. You see McKenny's still low, Great House is still low, but if you're in that dirty air, Dan Park, he's elected to go high, and it's starting to work out for him.
Yeah, I mean, Dan's doing exactly what I would be doing in this situation. I know we're going to lap 40, but all in all, once you can get that top rolling and nobody's up there yet, you might as well take advantage of it. That clean air is your best friend at this sort of racetrack with these trucks. I mean, you're pretty much wide open, just basically. I mean, you may have to lift a little bit for when it steps out in the rear, but the whole way through, as we see a little bit of tussling going on there in the back. I don't know who that was.
Yeah, battle for last, Sean Corcoran. By the way, Connor Cunningham did make it out onto the track. He missed the initial start. He is 3 laps down, but Connor Cunningham will be in the Speed Racing Network Glytch Truck Series playoffs this season.
We got a battle going on for, I believe this is 15th or 14th. Dustin Slider and Joe Ruggles.
Oh, yeah.
Slider, one of those guys trying to make it in on the points, struggling. Oh, my goodness.
But he's got Godinez hot in pursuit. And don't forget, that's the cut line battle.
Yeah, that is the cut line battle. Oh, there's a lot of trucks back here that was not. I'm really surprised to see back here. Daniel Miglin, Ben Morrow, our champ, Jeffrey Racchio back here. I mean, not good qualifying for these guys back here. Usually qualifying is your best friend in these sorts of tracks too. You want the track position to be able to manage just the whole race. I mean, if you're gonna, unless you're gonna be as aggressive as you saw Dan Park, I mean, you gotta do what you can to make some track position up. It's hard to pass as it is already in like next gen or even Xfinity, but even in the trucks when everybody's basically the same setup, same technique and everything, it's definitely tough to pass. As you see,
whoa,
a lot of migrating into the top lane and that third lane starting to work.
You're absolutely right, Ed. Early, you can still make passes. You can run your way through the field because you're all packed up. You have chances to drop it down low, go up high. But now everyone's migrating to the top here, Ed, as Ben Park could not find a spot in line there. Everyone's running that top. The inside doesn't have that much grip unless you really saved your stuff. But it's really hard to make those overtakes happen now.
Sorry to cut you there. I'm Dylan Godinez and Slido trading paint back here in the back of the pack a little bit.
This could be intriguing.
And these are two that are fighting for that last spot in the playoffs too.
Oh no, Michael Lipicki! Oh no! First caution of the night.
At Mike, he was battling with Corey Stahl still.
And remember, they have had their fair share of trouble. Oh no! Oh man. Lipicki was just trying to get back going, and it spins back up the track right into traffic, and he hits Jason Kratke there. That is so unfortunate. You're gonna go back and take a look and see what happened to the 22 machine. You're exactly right, Ed. He was battling it out with Corey Stahl. This was an elbows out battle. Let's see what happened.
So you see Corey has the run on exit coming down the front straightaway here. I think Mike maybe tries to throw the block, and I think it's just a tad too late. I mean, Corey was showing that he wanted the top, wanted the top, but I think Mike just threw a little bit of a block a little too late.
Yeah, he had a big run. I don't know if Michael knew that, but he certainly knows now. Unfortunate hit there.
So this is going to be an interesting decision here for some of these leaders, as I'm already seeing a majority of them coming down pit road. I was going to say, we're about halfway to the stage end, and, you know, with the little bit sets of tires that we have, with about 3 or 4 sets of tires, I don't know if people are going to want to use a set here, maybe wait for another 20 laps and just take the fuel. But doing this, it's going to make that truck feel a lot more different, Emerson. You know, when you just take full fuel and no tires, that baby going to be snugged up and maybe a little bit tight. So we might see some interesting restarts here.
One more replay. You see he's out there. I don't know if Mike knew it though. But you're right, Ed. These trucks, they were gonna take a big change here. A lot of drivers did pit. Actually, I think everyone did come down to pit here, Ed.
Yeah,
but
I saw a majority take fuel, and I think maybe a few might have took tires. But
I was gonna say, yeah, the first 4 tire stop was 14th place Scott Kalal. The next 4 tire stop was 21st place Joe Ruggles. So inside the top 20, one driver took 4 tires. Everyone else took fuel.
I just don't know how I feel about taking tires here. We're only 20 laps in. I mean, you always want to have that extra set in the back pocket just in case, God forbid, Emerson. Tires are always your best friend here. And I mean, if some of these drivers might be confident enough to go another 20 laps on those old tires, I feel like these fresh tires are going to eat up some of these guys here if they use them right.
I do not disagree. And what I also don't disagree with is a chance to shout out our partners here at Speed Racing Network. Don't you go anywhere. Working our first caution period of the day. Dalton McKinney leads. Michael Lepicki. Serious trouble and damage for that 22 machine. Welcome, race fans, back to the virtual Kansas Speedway. It's Elimination Tuesday from the Speed Racing Network Glytch Truck Series round 13 of 18 tonight. We leave with 15 playoff competitors as they embark on a 5-race quick run to decide who will be the championship 5 and who will ultimately be the Speed Racing Network Glytch Truck Series champion. We're in our first caution period of the day. Michael Lepicki made contact with Corey Stahl and heavy contact with the outside wall. Also made big contact with Jason Kratke. Here's the restart. The iRacing.com safety vehicle into the safety of pit lane. McKinney leads us back to the green. Green flag! Dalton McKinney holding serve out in front. Battle for second. Daniel Park is trying to get clear to Matthew Greathouse. 3 wide behind. Nathan De La Rosa's in the heart of a 3 wide sandwich here. Is Ben Park to the inside. Sean Long is getting turned in front of the field. And the caution comes out. Nathan De La Rosa and Scott Kalaw in trouble. Looks like no one got any big damage there, though. You saw it all pretty much happen live, but we'll go up above and take a look at what happened here, Ed.
Yeah, so we got 3 wide coming off the corner there. Ben Park on the inside. Sean Long outside. Nathan De La Rosa in the middle. Looks like Nate comes up just maybe a tad bit right there. Trying to side drive Sean Long back. Just misjudges it a little bit on towards the inside wall. Sean Long goes along with De La Rosa. And Scott Kalaw, one of those guys that was making really aggressive passes on new tires, was making a heck of a headway too. Unfortunately, looks like those tires, him taking those tires this early, are going to come back to haunt him.
Back to it here from Kansas. It's Dalton McKinney, but Daniel Park. Park made a great move on that restart. Got out in front of Greathouse enough to where he catches the caution. One of our cut line drivers, Dustin Slider, hits the pit lane. Jason Kratke's destroyed truck there right in front, but Slider hits the pit. Taking tires, the 15 machine. Didn't take him on the first caution, Ed, but caution 2? What do you think?
I don't know. It's hard to tell. I mean, if it was me, I would wait until I got to the 40 laps.
Sure, I agree.
Right now, I feel like McKinney, Dan Park, Greathouse, Speed, Stahl, Ben Park, Marcy, De La Rosa, Gratke, I've all made their bed basically. It's Kowal, we saw take tires in that last caution. As far as we get another yellow, I don't know. The fuel's close, I think. So, from what I was told, we could take about close from like 35-ish laps on fuel. So, I mean, even if we make it to 40 for the stage, I mean, you're gonna make it probably at least one more stop, maybe a 2. I mean, you want those tires to the end, though. It's just like I don't know about taking it so early, unless you think you're gonna make up as much spot as you can to maybe get the stage win. But if you're somebody like Slider, so now where he just come off on pit road, he came back. Well, he's coming back through right now for scoring. So now he's registered.
He's last on the lead lap.
Yeah, 25th-ish. So.
24th. Yeah, Picky just got back in the lead lap. Excuse me. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know about this call. I mean, you're gonna have when we go green, probably what? I don't know, 13, 12 to go to that stage. I don't see it. I mean, maybe a top 10's doable, but I don't see like a stage win. But I mean, I don't think I would take tires just to get, you know, 1 bonus point in the playoffs. You know, I don't think that's worth. I don't know about you though, Em, but that's just me. I don't think, you know, taking tires just to get maybe like 1 or 2 points in the playoffs is worth. Unless I'm guaranteed myself.
It depends,
you know,
on the tire sets, man. I think if the tires are really limited, right? If you have the set to burn, I'm all for it. But if it's that limited, like maybe have 1 extra set, I agree with you. Wait, save it till the end. Look, let's be real. We know how this series trends. I would rather have tires 40N, and on the off chance we don't get to use them, I'd rather have that call. I get, you know, I of course, you know, if you bring them to the track, you want to use them, but I'd rather make my bed with that in mind, you know, with potential late race carnage. Let's be real, happening on an Elimination Tuesday. I mean, there's no question. You can't rule it out the window at all.
Do you remember where Scott Kalal restarted on that last restart by chance?
Because
I know he was the first one that you said that came off of 4 tires. But the bad thing is that he was involved in that caution just now. He gained it all the way up to 9th.
Yeah. Oh,
but he also put his nose 3 wide in a lot of places where Mama would tell you not to put it.
I'm gonna guess 14th, right? So he gained 5 spots on the restart, crashed. Well, I guess didn't crash, but got involved in the crash and came out positive.
He scorched the tires a decent amount, so he's not gonna have as much. But I mean, he still made decent ground, and I think the other one you said was
he made any ground. That's crazy. He was into caution. Oh goodness. Here we go. The iRacing.com safety vehicle finds its safety down the pit lane, the field in the hands of Dalton McKinney. Let's try it again. Green flag. battle for a second. It's Greathouse down low. Kyle Spees, last week's winner, trying to take it 3 wide. Greathouse shuts the door.
Greathouse shuts the door, puts all the dirty air on that 25 nose, but watch Dan Park on that outside trying to make that top lane work. Oh, Kyle Spees got loose.
Radke as well. Big run here, De La Rosa, nearly into the side of the 25. Kalal trying to get to the 66.
Yeah, watch Radke on that third lane coming with a run.
Radke gets boxed in. De La Rosa now all over the track, darting around like fighter jets.
Speed's now in the bad
Here
spot
he
right
goes.
now.
He wants to go middle. He can't. Kalal down to the inside. Move Kalal to 5th. Greathouse and Park, they battle it out.
Man, what a move by Kyle to make that work on that middle lane and get in between the 66 and the 3 truck. Oh, the 3 truck scrapes the wall a little bit. He's going to lose 2 spots, maybe even more spots.
Oh.
He's actually wide now. It Ruggles on the bottom with those new tires with Ben Park as well.
Radke in trouble.
Back here.
Oh my goodness. I don't get out of that. You see Godinez back out of it.
Yeah, I mean.
That's a smart move, man.
Ben Park getting tight in the middle.
Scott Kalaw's up to 2nd. Ed, you know what I didn't think of? This is a play for stage points for Scott Kalaw.
I reckon in the back.
Oh no!
I heard somebody spinning. I can't find it. Oh, I saw I think it's the 9 of Gerwitz and the 4.
Slow off the track. We'll get a look at it later. Oh no!
Cracky's got a broken wheel. Cracky's got a broken wheel on the top of the track right now. Yeah, left front's broke. Left front's broke.
Well, Jason Kratky is in trouble. You know,
no caution. We're still green.
Scott Kalaw's trying to go for the lead. Joe Ruggles is in the top 5.
Goodness.
Battle for the lead. Scott Kalaw down to the inside. The Canadian trying to get the stage win when it matters most.
And Scott Kalaw is in a really good, I mean, not good, but decent points cushion right now. Doing this would, I mean, pretty much solidify him in the playoffs if he gets the stage win.
If he gets the stage win, I mean, that's huge. He comes into today's race 25 points above the cut line. Godinez and Slider's in the top 5. Slider's coming as well. Ruggles and Slider are on a mission.
Oh, put those new tires to use, boys. Go get them.
Oh my goodness. Dude, Slider here has a chance to really upset Godinez and friends inside the top 15.
Other one on the outside looking in. Daniel Miglin's in 7th.
Yeah, here he comes.
6th. It's a great house.
This is great. Bust out the calculators, Ed. McKenny's going 3.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, this might change the whole playoff situation here at the end of this.
Oh my goodness.
JB to get on the points.
JB, his team will be on it right after the race tonight. As far as us, Ed, oh my goodness.
We're gonna have to hold our breath.
What I want you to do, Ed, is here at the stage, go ahead and get the top 10. You go and screenshot that so we can do points, because we got a battle for the lead. Scott Kalal, Dustin Slider, 2 of our cut line drivers going for the stage win. Nearly in the wall was Daniel Miglin.
Yeah, Miglin trying to get on the outside of Dalton McKinney. That would be for 4th, but Kalal trying to do all he can to hold off the 15. I don't know if I would have went to the bottom there. Going to give the run to Slider. He's going to try to cross over here on the exit of 2. Get to the inside of the 32, even side drifting back. He's trying to do all he can here. He's going to have to power it down, though. Kalal's going to have the advantage on this top lane to basically just pin him down and hold it wide open, but Slider's trying to move it a little bit up, trying to crowd the 32, but it's going to be close.
Across the stripe that time, Kalal. 4 more circuits round Kansas. Kalal's got to get more aggressive.
If Slider wants it bad, he's going to have to do what a lot of us wouldn't do, and you might have to full send it and just hope it sticks.
He almost bounced it off the apron.
Clear. He just about cleared him there.
Kalal's got to really send it here.
Yeah, Slider's clear.
Dustin Slider has cleared to the lead, but here comes Kalal.
A mirror drive him now. Just don't let him get the top. There you go. Protect the top. Let Kalal work the bottom. That's fine. Just pin him down here on the bottom. You should be able to hold this lead. Oh, he's giving him too much room. You can't give him this much room.
Kalal trying to clear up. Kalal back out in front. Kalal clears back to the lead.
Watch the 15 coming back.
Dustin
look
Slider
to
to
the
the inside. Joe Ruggles waiting in the wings.
Oh, Slider's trying all he can.
This is fantastic stuff. 2 laps to go. Slider down low. Kalal holding the middle. Ruggles trying to close that gap nearly into the center of the 32.
Just say, Kalal, if he wants to hold this, he's going to have to pinch a little bit harder on that bottom lane to make him not be able to move up. And now Ruggles looking to make the attack on Slider for second.
Joe Ruggles is going for second.
Right now, if I'm Kalal, I'm just mirror driving, not even looking out of the windshield. I'm literally just looking to see whatever lane the 15 runs. He's got a decent cushion right here, though. I think he just might maybe want to go in conservative mode.
1 lap to go in stage number 1. Scott Kalal has driven a great stage to this point. Watch Slider try to come back with the run. All the battles seem to have died down for the most part. Through turns 3 and 4. Scott Kalal will come out of the corner, and Scott Kalal is going to win stage 1 here at Kansas. Slider, Ruggles, Miglin, McKenney, Greathouse, Stahl, Spies, De La Rosa, and Radke, and the caution comes out.
Big moves by all the drivers that were on that borderline for the cut. Scott Kalal, Slider, Miglin, Stahl, all these guys that needed points, they got points. And the only one out of this that didn't get points that was big,
Godinez.
Long and Godinez.
Ed, that was fantastic. We were treated to a show.
This is going to be really interesting too, Emerson, because Slider just got second in the stage.
Yeah.
The difference between Godinez and Slider was 7 points.
Well, now it's 2.
Race.
2 in Slider's favor.
I mean, he's just got to finish the job. And then Kalal was 25 to the good just on the cut line.
Yeah,
I think
so
that
this should lock him in.
That should have just locked him in. I think also Andrew Harris maybe. I don't think he showed up tonight, so I don't know about him. But I think Ben Morrow should be okay.
Oh, that's going to be huge. You're right, Ed.
Yeah,
Does Harris make it in?
Harris is 33 points above the cut. Ben Morrow is 32, and he finished 11th in the stage.
Morrow, yeah, no stage points for Morrow.
Good won the stage. Ben Park was 23. He finished back in 18th. DeLong, we said, didn't get points. Godinez didn't get points. Slider did get points.
So only Kalal and Slider and Miglin. Wait, no, did Miglin get? Yeah, Miglin got 4th.
Miglin got 4th.
And Miglin came into today's race 23 below.
Yeah, and Cracky, I think, in all but certain now, just eliminated himself after that wreck with the left front.
Yeah, Jason Kratke is in some massive trouble. It's gonna be a lot here for Kratke to get back. Daniel Park, by the way, just came out the pit lane as the leader.
Oh, maybe a little bit of strategy playing on here.
We'll see here. Daniel Park did not get any stage points. So I think Park now, Ed, not mathematically, but is in some sort of a, I don't want to say must win, but I think he is at 23 back and no stage points. Oh no. Oh, I think he sped. What is going on here for Dan Park? Dan Park has sped on pit road, and he now has to wait for the whole field to pass by before he can pit again. I think he wanted to take tires and he didn't.
Well, he might as well come get him now.
Well, he is now, but that's unfortunate. Great track position, and now he's gonna be in a heap of trouble here, Ed. He's got to figure out a way to win. He has speed in that 7 machine, but we just said how difficult it is to make moves here.
Yeah, and from looking at... Okay, so I did some math. So, full tank, if I'm looking from what Ben Park, full tank 35, just about 35 laps-ish. So, if we go 35 laps, well now, once we get the green, maybe 34, 33-ish.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to go to about 70, I would say 72, 75 range, maybe. I don't think you want to, if we say green.
So let's take a look at the points before. Oh, that's the field map. I want to talk about some of the stage map. You're kind of making the allusions to it here. We'll take a look at the points. This is not live. This is before the race. So yeah, Slider now in by 2
points. Yep, Slider got points, so he got second in points. Andrew Harris did not attend tonight's race. Ben Morrow finished 11th in the stage. Kalal ended up winning the stage. That pretty much all but guarantees it, so we might as well just put a green mark next to his name.
Yeah, Kalal should be good.
Outside the points. DeLong and Godinez both finished outside the points. So right now, I think Slider's in a good spot to where he's 2 above, but he also needs to at least maintain some track position and hope nothing goes bad his way.
I think this cut line now is going to be somewhere between Harris, Godinez, Miglin, and if Dan Park can recapture track position, Daniel Park. I think those are the 4. I think it's going to be Harris, Godinez, Miglin, and Dan Park, the 4 we got to watch. Well, I mean, Harris is not here.
Miglin's made it close. Like, I think he's still going to need maybe a win to make it. But, I mean, he made it closer than it was.
He made it definitely attainable. I'll say that.
Yeah, I think he needs either DeLong or Godinez to have a big issue to be able to do it. But it's doable. You just got to hope. Well,
that is how things stack up, Ed. That was a wild stage. This is a wild restart. Now, Ed, the top 2 are on old tires. Everyone else is on fresh tires. As the iRacing.com safety vehicle hits the safety of pit lane, Scott Kalal is your race leader and leads the field to grid here from Kansas. Talk about must-win category. Daniel Miglin has taken the lead.
I mean, we said what he had to do to make it in. He's doing what he can right now as Dalton McKinney now looking to the inside to take the lead. He's going to try to pull that bottom lane all the way through, and we got a big mess going on in the back. Kalal is fading backwards tremendously, staying out in these old tires. Was 3 wide, but Stolen Ruggles now losing a ton more spots right now. As it looks like Slider is right now the best making it right now of those old tires right now, just running the bottom, but
he's about to get swallowed up here, though. Not taking 3.
He's getting swallowed up 3 wide right now, middle.
Oh, 3, nearly 4 here in this battle for a third. Yep, Miglin trying to hold on to it. Ruggles is still going for third.
Miglin's got an issue. He is falling back big time.
Something amiss with Daniel Miglin. Maybe just trying to conserve what he's got, but this is not the time to play conservative. You're in a must-win situation. How about Joe Ruggles down on the inside, 3 wide for third?
Yeah, Joe did a great job getting up through that field, finishing third in the stage with those new tires, now trying to make a little bit more moves. Getting up into that top 5 mix right now.
Trying to keep it down there. This field, a lot of energy. And not just in between the trucks, a lot of energy in these driver's seats, thinking what could, your season could be made or broken tonight. Oh, was near contact, or there was contact there between Slider and Marcy. Slider now going backwards. And now Slider falls back to Godinez. That's going to be something because Slider only has 2 points to the good now on Godinez.
Yeah, at this rate, I mean, Slider, if you just want to hope maybe this goes another caution here, maybe about like 15, 20 laps or so it plays in your favor, then everybody's going to pit with you. So
yeah, you got to reset the track position.
Hold on to what you got. Yeah, you got to just hold on to what you got right now and just don't wreck it. You already know that your competition didn't get stage points. I know somebody's got had been in his ear and told him that. So He's looking pretty good right now as we see a battle for, I believe this is 7th position with Ben Morrow, who we talked about starting in the back of this race with Nathan De La Rosa. And one thing I noticed too, Emerson, Nathan De La Rosa's got some decent right rear side damage. I don't know where he picked that from up.
He got hit in that incident with Sean Long. He got hit in the back by Kalal and friends. Inside here is De La Rosa.
A little bit of aero damage, a little bit on the straightaways.
Definitely on the straights. It actually might help him in the corners, but it will hurt on the straights. So De La Rosa slides up and clears right in front of Slider, and now we're really talking here as Miglin now outside. Miglin in the wall.
Oh, and really in the wall. That's gonna hurt.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, you don't want to prevail with these old tires. You just want to manage what you got until hopefully a caution comes
back
out
in the wall
and hits it again.
Daniel Miglin trying to hold on to what he's got. Dustin Slider trying to make the most of it here on the outside of Ben Morrow.
And Slider's doing pretty okay. I mean, he's running this third-ish lane right now. He's basically just running that seam right now in that third lane, trying to do what he can to hold off the 75 machine. But I mean, he's doing a better job than, you know, most of those guys that stayed out right now.
Absolutely. Not too shabby for the 15 machine if he can hold serve.
I'm him. I'm just going to keep running this third lane. I mean, this third lane's your best friend on all tires. You just don't want to get too antsy with that seam, though. That seam will take you and eat you up and spit you right back out.
Absolutely.
That thing is not friendly when you run the tires right on it.
It will do what it wants to you. Big run behind. Spees on Jason Green. This for 10th.
This is one person I was shocked to not see doing really well so far. I mean, you know, it may see him around a lot later. You know, I might eat my words here, but Kyle Spees is usually one of the better ones that we have here that's on the long run speed-wise. We saw it at Texas. We saw it at a couple other mile-and-a-half tracks. I mean, he's pretty dominant when it comes to this long run stuff. I know we haven't had that kind of pace yet, but I would not be surprised to see that 25 machine come to life if we get another maybe 15, 20 laps into this run.
Yeah, Spees might have something. And now Spees doesn't have to really push hard either. Spees is locked in with a couple wins now. But I'd imagine he'd want one more.
I would imagine he's close to locking up the regular season championship too. It's gotta be close.
Oh, that is some more bar contact! Jason Green!
Around.
Pounds it off the inside wall.
I don't think that's going to be a yellow either. That's too far down the track where iRacing's not going to throw it.
No caution detection down there. And Jason Green is all of a sudden out of the top 20. Battle for the lead. I'm sorry, second. My apology. Battle for second. Greathouse and Stahl.
Stahl making this third lane work. Greathouse was managing this bottom decently, and behind them too. Joshua Morrissey looking on Joe Ruggles for 4th. De La Rosa also coming into the picture in this.
A lot of JBR trucks up here. And Ruggles.
Really good JBR right now tonight.
Ruggles right in the thick of it. Now, what Ruggles is going to have to get used to here, as you can see, he's not quite used to yet. He's got to be used to running on each other. Oh, well.
Oh my God. I'm sorry, Emerson. I saw that coming. He missed the ball.
I saw it too.
Coming off the track.
Well, what I was going to say is he wants to run a little closer to his competitors, you know, get some side draft going, or, you know, and still some fear.
Close right there.
Oh, he got it close. You got closer to close. Big run here, though.
Slider's still fighting these three back here. He's still got Ben Ball trapped on his inside. I mean, Racky got it, but he's still got them side. I don't know how much longer they're gonna keep patient.
Not good for Slider.
Oh, Morrow. Oh,
talk about shutting the door. Morrow locked it.
Yeah, it may not look bad to the fans out there, but like when we're watching in the booth like this, it looks a lot worse.
That, and you know, we're both racers. I mean, I just ran a truck race at Kansas, 130 laps to be exact, man. Like,
and these trucks are not friendly either. They are very antsy.
Oh yeah. Like we
some laps under that right rear and stuff. This thing's not going to be friendly.
It's a little hard to describe because the truck starts, let's be real, so easy to drive right away. And it just starts to consume you later and later into the run.
Think about it when you pull out your like 67 Corvette out of the garage in the middle of the sun. Like you take it out for that first spin, you're like, oh, you know, it looks great. You know, great weather, you know, might as well pick the top down and everything. You get down the interstate, it starts raining, pouring, and the tires are sliding everywhere after like 20 laps. That's literally how it feels. It is that kind of mood differential. You start out great on the fresh tires. After about 20, 25 laps, then you're like, what did I do? I don't know what I did. Like you almost act confused as to what you did to hurt the truck.
Whoa, now Ruggles is leaning on Kyle Spees. This is intriguing. I don't own a 67 Corvette, but I get the analogy.
Yeah, I was like more metaphorically. Eventually, one day, 401k will kick in.
Oh, the block from Spees. Oh, Ruggles will send it.
Oh, Emerson, do you remember what I said a couple minutes ago about the long run pace?
Yeah, Kyle Spees is going to rise to the occasion. Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he's rising, and so is that 3 truck. If Iraqi's cracked himself into the top 5, and he's on the back bumper of Marcy for 4th.
Yeah,
well, another truck that's also popping into the occasion too. Eric Gerwitz in that 9 truck broke himself into the top 10 now.
He was involved in that incident with Zachary Hines. We actually did not take a look back at it, but they did make slight contact, maybe a slide, and no caution came out. But they lost a lot of track position. And you're right. At Marcy, Radke, Gerwitz, they've gained 12 spots each from where they started today's race.
Yeah, I think we're starting to see like who's been taking care of their stuff and who's been the more the aggressor. And Joe Ruggles fading back a little bit. Slider's starting to fade back. I mean, he was one of those guys that stayed out on those old tires along with Scott Kalal and such. But some of these guys that know how to take. Oh my lord!
Well, this is another thing, Ed. For Ruggles, great job to get up here, get that track position. But,
now in the wall.
Oh, I don't think he's used to running up here, Ed. I don't want to be mean. I just, you know, we've seen him, and this is uncharted territory for the 96.
No, and I agree with you, but it's like once you start getting the taste, you want more of it. You know, Emerson. It's like,
yeah.
You know,
he wants more. I love this.
Him fighting for that stage win probably got his mojo getting up there a little bit, and it's like, you know what? I feel pretty good. I think we could fight for the win for this thing. And then all of a sudden, you know, your just hopes just go down the drain. But, I mean, maybe a caution here in the next 10, 15 laps could change everything for Joe. I mean, with everybody on the same strategy.
Yeah, I'm sure for Joe, that rejuvenated him. That battle for the stage win, absolutely. Now, from there, well, now he's really got an uphill battle. As, did we just have someone hit? Scott Kalal has entered the pit lane.
This is interesting for the strategy's sake here, Emerson. I know he's probably closer on fuel than some of these guys, but the pit window for some of these guys that pitted before is going to open here in about, I would say, probably now, between now and 5 laps. I mean, seeing Kalal's coming in, you might want to start thinking about pitting here. Make this a 2-stop strategy.
I don't disagree. This could be intriguing.
Like we see in real life, Emerson, once the 1 comes in, the herd follows.
Trying to see who will join Scott Kalal in the early stages of the pit cycle. It's Dalton McKinney still out in front, putting a 2-second advantage over the field here at Kansas. iRacing here.
Very tight. He was all over the back bumper. Mercy. Oh, a little slider? Ooh.
Radke up the track, clears.
Oh,
Marcy drops down low.
That was nice.
At the stripe goes to 35.
Marcy got him back on the crossover there. Got a little bit more momentum. Radke had to just do a little bit more mirror driving there. He hold Marcy behind him. But it was a good move, though. Give credit. That was great. That's what I love about Kansas, too, Emerson. I mean, you see moves like this, and it literally makes this track as hyped as it is. I mean, it is literally one of the funnest tracks to drive on the circuit.
It's a lot of fun. I mean, we had an insane stage battle And now we just got great battles up and down the running order. Part of that's because it's so hard to make the pass work. But if you send it hard enough and your competitor respects, you know, you and also their truck doesn't want to get it destroyed, you know, on lap 70 of 120, this could be fun. Now, Radke, he's going to pay the price for that send here. Morrow's going to get by.
Yeah, I mean, this is the time of that run where I mentioned in pre-race, Emerson, this is where everybody's going to want to play that high game, and whoever's running that high lane is going to be one taking control. And it looks like Kyle Spees is going to be one of our takers in the top 10 to be pitting here as I see him on pit road now. 50 to go in the race here. This is going to basically make it a two-stop, maybe even, you know, maybe with a caution play out for some of these guys, but I think Kyle Spees wants to see this go green. But I think this might be the one guy that everybody looks at to be like, okay, I think I might need to start pitting now, because Kyle Speed was making some pretty good lap times.
He's brought Spencer Brown with him as well. And so we shall see.
I'm shocked Dustin Slider's still out there. I mean, as long as Shakawal pitted, like, what, 4 or 5 laps ago?
Radke's in. Here we go.
Yep, this is it. Green flag stops.
So Jeffrey Radke makes it in to the stall, and this is gonna be something.
See hands going out the window for the 66, the 13.
Yep, here we go.
Oh, 15 into the wall. Turn 3. Stay green. I see the JBR duo coming down pit road for the full service.
Ruggles is in.
Very passive entry for the 96.
He's out of practice. I think you can maybe use a little more pit practice.
Looks like Corey Stahl's hands out the window.
Leader's in.
Comes our leader. Now this is where it all triggered. Kyle Spees triggers the green flag, stops.
He's brought Stahl, Bab, Long in.
Curious to see where Kyle Spees will migrate after this, after the green flag stops, because that is one person you do not want to see gain as much track position as possible, especially when it's somebody like Kyle who knows how to save their stuff.
Oh yeah, 100%.
It looked like for the 96.
Yeah, the pit time there, 15 seconds. About a second longer than a normal stop. We got Marcy in.
And Morrow stays out. Gurwitz, Miglin, Hines, Ben Park, Dan Park, round out your top 6. Conquering. Slider still sticking it out there on those old tires. Godinez and Sidor round out the top 10. Oh man, we got a messel here, and Kyle Speeds is almost 4 wide. What a whole mess of lap down trucks and old trucks right now. Racky's shoving him through it.
Oh my goodness.
And you can just see right there who's got the better rubber. There's McKinney just in front. Wow. Look at that, Harrison. But McKinney is just in front of Kyle Spees right now. That's how much Spees has just gained.
Now, McKinney's on 3 lap pressure tires, so that is going to be the other end of that.
Yeah, but I mean, for Kyle, I mean, that's a decent gain. I mean, if something ever happens,
great.
you know, that's a huge chunk that Spees has gained. And great also for Racky as well. These are 2 people that McKinney does not want to see in his rearview mirror, in my opinion.
Ben Park is in.
Those are 2 of the very best in the long run games. And Ben Morrow still out on track. Aaron Gurwitz, Daniel Miglin, Zachary Hines, Dan Park. John Corker and Dustin Slidor. Michael Sidor. Find out your top 9.
Oh, another truck coming in. Lepicki. Hines is in as well.
Mm. 86 and the 9 are both shaking their hands out the window right now, showing that they're pitting. 31 also.
Gurwitz is in, yep.
This will start getting closer and closer to getting the end of the green flag stops, as we still have Jason Green, who is in 9th. Now, Ben Morrow, I don't know his plan is right now, but there we go. I see a hand out the window for the 75.
Here he comes, slowing down. Ben Morrow.
You got a lot more falling in too. Dylan Godinez coming. Does Slider coming as well.
Yeah. D&G Motorsports, here they come. Oh, Sidor. Little hot on entry.
Talk about a hot entry.
Daniel Park takes the race lead.
Dan and Sean Corcoran will be the last two that haven't pit yet, and then after that, they'll just cycle out. Actually, Jason Green still hasn't pit yet as well, but he was involved in that one wreck that we didn't have a yellow for.
Daniel Park is coming in, and Sean Corcoran as well. This will complete that pit cycle.
So once it all cycles out, well, Dalton McKinney is our race leader once again, with about a 1.3 second gap over Kyle Spees, who's now new second place, with Jeffrey Radke third. Matthew Greyhouse at fourth, Corey Stoll fifth, Wally Babb sixth, Nathan De Rosa seventh, Sean Law eighth. And it looks like Scott Cole on 9th and Marcia Mike scoring, rounding out your top 10, Emerson.
Looks like it. We'll see the names drop there on the left-hand side. The scoring will reset.
Like Marcy and Cole just went and shared some paint, it looked like, for 9th and 10th.
Park is down away. Now, the thing here with Park, Ed, Daniel Park is going to be only 6 laps short on fuel. Fuel mileage.
It's hard to save too.
Well, it is hard to save 6 laps. I say only like it's easy, but it's hard.
Yeah. Now,
but intriguing.
Dare I say it? We do get a yellow.
A yellow or two could save them.
It would help, but I mean, you still want tires in the end, though. I mean, we saw what tires mean.
Here we go, battle for 6th. This is Bab, De La Rosa, and Sean Long.
Nice quiet night for Sean Long. Involved in that world record earlier with Nathan De La Rosa as well. But a good run for that 84 truck.
Also, great Allison Stall. This battle won't go away.
These two have been battling for the last maybe 30 laps. It's been flipped around though. Matt was the one running the bottom before, and Stall was on the top. Now it's Greyhouse top, Stall bottom. Oh, Corey's gonna try to clear himself up on the bottom on the exit.
Whoa!
That was, yeah, but I don't think Matt's gonna like that one. This is a little too close for comfort.
The track has now also descended into full darkness. I say darkness. Like the lights have lit up this track as opposed to the sun was earlier. So that's a big change to think about as well. Ed, this track was very hot to start. It's gotten very cool. That means the track is gripped up, but that also means the track has gotten tight. Battle for a second.
Yep, I was just about to point out, Jeffrey Recky's starting to run down Kyle Spees, and looks like he'll clear him just about easily off the exit there. It looks like Kyle's going to try to help him get a shove going through. We'll move Racky into second place. About a 2.5 second gap to our leader, Dalton McKinney. Dalton McKinney's just had a nice steady night. You know, nothing too crazy. I can't remember the last time we've seen a Dalton McKinney dominant race either.
The sad part is for him, I think it's last season.
That's tough.
But Dalton McKinney has finally pieced it together to this point. 35 laps to go. Still a lot of racing left. But it's looked very, very good through the opening stages of this race.
And think he was one of those last guys to lock in just based on points too. So
oh
my goodness, there we go. That was almost something bad.
One of our cut line drivers, Dylan Godinez, is in a tussle with Spencer Brown.
Yeah, watching Godinez all season, he does not have a long fuse for a temper. He gets pissed off once, he'll make you pay. I've seen it before.
Oh, he almost made Spencer Brown pay. This is intriguing as Godinez clears up. Daniel Park is going to go on through. This is all going on for 15th, but again, the reason why we're down here, Ed, remember Dustin Slider got those stage points. He got 2 points. Went from down 7 to up 2 on Godinez. Well, now Godinez is now up 7 spots on Dustin Slider, and Austin DeLong is in the pit lane. This is the fuel window. This is the first driver to pit inside the fuel window.
Yeah, I don't see this, though, dragging some people. I think it might go a little bit longer than expected, but this is a good, interesting strategy. And actually, the bad news for Dustin Slider right now, he's actually currently going 1 lap down to our leader, Dalton McKinney, as we speak, going down the front straightaway.
Well, I think for Austin DeLong here, Ed, remember, he's one of those drivers that was on the cut line, and I think this is a Hail Mary from DeLong to, get himself into the playoffs.
Absolutely, and I don't blame him for doing it either. It's a great strategy. I mean, he missed out on stage points. Might as well play the Hail Mary game at this rate and try to do what you can. But I feel like I would have done it maybe with like 25 to go, maybe 20 to go.
Sure.
I don't want to put like 32 laps on these tires and then hope, I stay out and I can hold off somebody, say, on like 2 tires or 4 tires later on.
I do agree. And you're right, Ed, also with Slider going that lap down. Now, if we get a run of cautions, right, if Slider gets trapped a lap down, doesn't get those free passes, this could be something. Godinez could immediately get himself back into playoff contention.
And actually, the bigger thing too, Emerson, Austin DeLong is 2 laps down as we speak.
Well, the good news for DeLong, he does have the freshest tires on the track. He's going to be able to get at least one of those back. But
he's 11 seconds back of getting his first lap back.
Yeah, it's going to be a tall task.
Way. And now actually McKinney's now putting Daniel Miglin now a lap down, so that's another truck that Dustin Slider is going to have to pass to get the free pass.
Yeah, I was going to say, this is going to start to trap Slider.
I mean, lucky for both of those guys, the next truck to go a lap down would be Joe Ruggles, who just went in the 20th, and he's only about maybe 5 seconds ahead of our leader right now.
Yeah, so they've got some time, but it's not looking good right now. Dustin Slider is, after a phenomenal run the stage at, Dustin Slider all of a sudden still facing elimination.
Yeah, and Godinez right now 16th place. Oh, and I think Miglin hit the wall behind our leader, I think. I don't know. I heard some wall scraping.
While 16th right now isn't all that, Ed, I think it would be enough right now.
Yeah, I mean, Slider 22nd, Godinez 16th. That's 6 spots. He only had a 2-point cushion, so right now Slider would make it in by about 4 points, I think.
Godinez would.
Godinez would make it in by 4 points.
That's all, of course, pending how Andrew Harris fares point-wise, and if Harris falls out of the playoffs with, not showing up today, and barring any other craziness that could propel someone to a potential victory. Like Daniel Park is still on the lead lap, and there's a lot of pace in that 7 machine.
Absolutely. I mean, he's been pulling some good lap times too. He's only about a second some change back to Zachary Hines, and from there it's about all the way up to 9th.
Kalaw's in.
31 coming in, I hear. I'm looking as well. Hands out the window.
Well, here we go. We are inside the fuel window. People are committing now.
Joe Ruggles and Spencer Brown fighting for 18th right now, but looks like Spencer's going to stay clear of them. Michael Seidor starting to run down Sean Corcoran right now for 16th. I'm just going around looking at battles going on the track. Let's see.
Miglin came in as well, but he is, of course, already a lap down before the pit cycle.
And the next battle would be probably about 6th and 7th right now. Wally Babb, Ben Morrow, Matthew Greathouse, Corey Stahl still decently close to each other. Racky's actually getting to Slider right now. And the tough thing for Racky right now, he's running about identical lap times to our leader, McKinney, but McKinney with the clean air is just doing a better job right now managing traffic. See Dustin Slidor's crew getting ready. Oh, Jeffrey Radke coming pit road. This is my polar leader. I'm looking at McKinney right now, going down halfway down the back. McKinney's still... Oh, McKinney's still running the wall, staying out. Kyle Speeds looks like he's staying out as well. Corey Stahl staying out. I don't know, it'll be interesting. You got a battle for 7th. Aaron Gerwitz going for the pass on the inside of Sean Long. Nice little quiet night for that 9 crew. Oh, Sean Long in the fence. Hey, McKinney's still staying out. Sean Long, yep. Sean Long just pit from 8th. Ben Park from 10th. Ethan De Rosa leaves now. Donald McKinney stays out another lap. This is going to be interesting to see where Radke's going to end up. Oh, it looks like McKinney might be getting ready to pit. He went to the bottom here in 3. Yep, McKinney's coming. Corey Stahl's coming. Kyle Speed's coming. This is it. This is the money stop. I'm going to keep an eye on that 3 truck, see where they migrate out. Looks like Dylan Godita is also coming in. All right, so Jeffrey Radke's got Gerwitz dealing with right now if it's a lap down truck. He's going to clear him right now. They're in the middle of 1 and 2. A lot more trucks I'm seeing coming to pit road now. Is that 2 tires? Or was it 4? Oh my. Radke took 4.
Two tires feels pretty good. Not gonna lie.
It feels about the same, but I mean, compared to 4 tires,
it's not the same grip.
No, but you're definitely gonna lose the 4 tires, I feel like.
Oh yeah.
But the question is, what's the gap? Radke's crossing now.
2 seconds.
That's a lot of time made up by that 3 truck.
And with 4 freshies, with fresher left side tires, will it be enough?
These might be just straight up Q laps from this 3 truck.
Also, big battle here. Oh my goodness, what is going on?
This is a gaggle and a half. Holy.
Oh man. Oh, they're all parking the bus.
With the Park brothers.
The Park brothers. One is parking and one is parked.
It's the Park. I don't even know. Yeah, the five Park brothers. Yeah, the 5 Parks. I was trying to think of a name. I couldn't do it.
Oh goodness. Don't forget, Ed. Now Daniel Park, he is 6 laps short. He was 6 laps short just coming off the pit lane. He could have saved fuel. If you know, this works out where a lot of people are trapped a lap down, like Dan Park could be a topic of conversation if something falls his way here.
If Dan does it, I'm giving everybody in the studio $10.
So that's just me.
For this $10 of your life, buddy. So the gap right now, it's getting close with the 3 and the 46.
2.5 seconds, the gap between Matt McKinney and Radke. So far, this is working out in McKinney's favor.
And McKinney's running about 0.3 a lap faster.
But can you sustain that on the older left sides?
Iraqi's been having to go through a lot more traffic right now than McKinney.
What I will say, as a result of the 2-tire pit stop at side door pits, Ed, your left sides do not wear all that much here, especially when you run the bottom a lot. So when you come off the pit lane, it's almost as if you nearly have even tires. And when you break in those right side tires, they're almost as evenly worn as the left side for a good 10 laps as Ben Morrow hits the pit lane. So it's going to be about 5 or so laps that you know, Radke's going to have the advantage. And will the gap be small enough? Will the gap be attainable enough, I should say?
I don't want to say it now. I mean, as we're talking about playoffs coming up, I have Ben Morrow as my sleeper pick for the championship. I just feel like with the schedule coming up for the playoffs, I feel like he's that sleeper pick. I mean, he was so good at IRP. And guess what the second to last race is in the playoffs, Everson? Iowa. Another short track. He just seems good at short tracks. He's confident at short tracks.
Well, here we are, and the beds have been made. 14 laps to go. Sean Corcoran is your race leader. We still await a pit stop from Corcoran, Daniel Park, and Zachary Hines, if the field does not hold. Dan Park and Zachary Hines in this battle for second, and they only have just under 5 seconds back to McKinney. So even if they can make it on fuel now, I don't think they're going to be able to stay ahead of McKinney. Let's try to board with Daniel Park, as I think he is saving fuel.
So you go on board with him. Going into turn 1. What's the... Oh my. Oh, that is just not what I want to hear. I don't want to lose $10, Dan. Don't do this. Why?
Oh, he's gonna give it a try. I don't think he's gonna stay ahead of McKinney, but he'll give it a shot to try to work his way into the playoffs.
And McKinney's just making really good lap time right now with these 2 tires.
So Zachary Hines is also just sitting right behind him. This is, I think they're teammates. I think that's one thing.
Yeah, Zachary Hines is the teammate.
So what is Hines doing? Is he just gonna push him if he runs out or something? What is? Corcoran is in.
Sure I'm pretty sure that's a rule too, and you can't do that. So
I don't know what's going on here, but Daniel Park is your race leader here with 10 laps to go.
I don't think that's all but gonna matter, because McKinney is that green truck right there on that outside, coming with a full head of steam down the back.
Daniel Park trying to solidify a potential victory here at Kansas. It may be all for naught.
Sentence, I think, yeah, by the time we finish that sentence, I think McKinney's going to pass him.
Dalton McKinney, big run, 2 tires versus old tires. 2 tires will prevail enough as Dalton McKinney reclaims the race lead here, and McKinney's been oh so dominant today. McKinney would be the deserving winner.
Sending you $10. Thank you, Dalton McKinney.
Well, it's not over yet. As Zachary Hines hits the pit lane.
It was a good strat no matter what from Dan. I mean, it was the right call, but I think just too long. Just a little too long.
Is this a sign of things to come for Dan Park? Now, Hines never saved fuel. We'll see what the move is
right now that this race was 110 laps.
Oh, if it was 110 laps, I think he would have won. He was leading on lap 110.
Yeah.
He stays out. He's got his brother coming to unlap himself. Hines Cunningham is in. All in all, Dalton McKinney. It's been A very troublesome season for the 46. I'll say that. He is into the playoffs via points, but man, that after last season, it's the last thing you'd expect for McKinney just to point his way in.
And this is something as a playoff driver that you do not want to see either. A guy that hasn't won yet this season that's making the playoffs and is about to get his first win on the year in a dominating fashion in this way that Dalton McKinney is right now. Because when you win in this kind of dominant fashion, especially on a mile and a half like this, when you know we're probably going to go to a couple more in the playoffs, and you see this 46 dominate as he did, this is a guy you do not want to see come to championship Sunday.
Yeah, this is someone you don't want to give any motivation to. Jeffrey Radke will make the pass on Daniel Park. Radke goes up to second. Daniel Park staying out here, 5 laps to go. Will the fuel live on that 7 machine? But how much further will he drop? Speeds will be up next.
Hey, Kyle's just about a second back and change, so I think Kyle should get him. He's that blue truck right there in the background.
So not even. He's half a second, actually.
Yeah, he's just closing in pretty well.
Daniel
so all in all,
Park.
it looks like Dan's going to lose on his strategy, but all in all, it's a great effort no matter what. It doesn't surprise me either, because I think you and me know Dan the best. I think Dan would be the one person that would do this, like, pretty significantly decent, too.
Well, Dan back to 4th. He's got 2.5 seconds to Greathouse. And then add another 1.5 seconds to Stall. He could still lock out of here to top 5 if he can make the fuel live.
Yeah, if the fuel lives, he should be able to make a top 5 work.
Oh,
Because
here he
Ben
comes.
Morrow's... Oh, nope.
Oh, that'll do it. A for effort for the 7 machine. But I believe this is going to solidify that Dan Park will not make the Glytch Truck Series playoffs this season.
Wonder if JB's going to send Dalton McKinney a drug test tomorrow to see if he took anything before this race, because possibly the way he's been dominating, this man has pulled some tricks and sleeves out in the Kansas Motor Speedway tonight.
Something else to note, Dylan Godinez came into today's race just below the cut line. I'm sorry, just above the cut line. Dustin Slider had a great stage, got above the cut line, and since then, Dustin Slider is 21st, trapped a lap down, not looking up for Dustin Slider. He'll get past Daniel Park, but I'm sure Park will get the run right back. So, more things to note there. Andrew Harris, again, did not show up tonight. That's another thing to note.
I ran out for Slider's sake. I think he just needs to try and get every position he can right now as Dalton McKinney comes around and takes the white flag.
Yeah, McKinney into turns 3 and 4. It's been a long time coming for the driver out of threat level Midnight Motorsports. Dalton McKinney, finally, for the first time this season, will dominate and win. And tonight it's in Kansas. Dalton McKinney, who is already locked into the playoffs, will lock in via victory.
You can say Dalton had those magic red shoes on tonight. But great job by that 46 truck. Great domination from start to finish. Started on pole. Led the most laps tonight. And ended off with a win here at Kansas to end the regular season. And a big-time momentum boost for that 46 camp going into the playoffs as we're going to see some victory lane burnouts here.
McKinney is tonight's driver sitting in Glytch Truck Series victory lane. Is that it? Is that all we get?
That was it? Damn.
I don't think it's out of fuel, so not
No,
sure.
I think it was just a really good parking job, though. It was right on that white line. Look, that right front is perfectly balanced with that white line.
Well, Jonathan Byer is here. He is in the hauler, and he is busted out the calculator. So Jonathan Byer will be working
And I
steadily
also
on
want
those
to
points.
point out too, it was a great night overall for the whole threat level midnight camp too. I mean, Jeffrey Radke finishes second, so it's a 1-2 for them boys. I mean, their next best teammate was Corey Stoll, had a great night in sixth. Looks like Jeffrey Vickery
All
didn't
right,
show
and
up
now
tonight.
we have the chance to talk to our race winner. So we'll head on down to the start finish line where Dalton McKinney is waiting. And Dalton, I know it's been a long time coming since last season, man. We were just wondering when was this 46 going to recapture that magic? And tonight, Dalton, you did. You dominated tonight here in Kansas. How about it?
Yeah, definitely had this one circled. Put a lot of work in, a lot of practice. Got 4 or 5 officials in over the last 24 hours, and just glad it all paid off. Glad there wasn't a fluke caution there the last 10, 15 laps, and just glad it all worked out the way it did.
Absolutely, Dalton. You were locked in today already via points. You had the point cushion over a full race over the cut line. But I'm sure this means a whole lot more than just locking in via points and not stumbling, but just kind of making it into the playoffs. Now you won your way into the playoffs with 5 races left in the season, a shortened playoffs. Is this 46 team catching fire at the right time?
Yeah, I hope so. You know, you can always hope to catch momentum, and hopefully it carries on. You know, with the short playoffs, it's nice to have a few bonus points going into this first round. If something happens, you know, the first week, you know, you may have a little bit of a buffer, but it's going to be tough. This is a tough crowd, and yeah, just have a shot at it. It's all you can ask for.
Absolutely, Dalton. Finally, a win in the column for yourself tonight here at Kansas, and now already solidly a playoff driver, but now one that's a force we reckon with coming here next week. Dalton, how about it? How do you feel about your chances here in the playoffs?
Yeah, finished second to my teammate last year, Radkeys. I know he's going to be tough to beat. He's been hot the last few weeks, so I know he's going to be up there. Speeds has been really fast. There's been a lot of really different guys. You know, it's been a lot of different winners. I think, you know, there's 3 of them that's won 2, but other than that, there's been no 3-time winners. It's a lot of mixing it up, and yeah, all you can, you know, get into it. That's all you can ask for, and then you win 1 or 2 of them and find yourself with a shot going into that final race. And yeah, I like my chances if we can get there.
Well, Dalton, congratulations on your first victory on the season. A long time coming for you, but this one in dominating fashion, and could rejuvenate this 46 fret level Midnight Motorsports entry into the playoffs. Congratulations on the victory. Best of luck to you here in the playoffs.
Thanks, man. Real quick, I want to thank my girlfriend for watching, my cousin Little Joe, everyone at Threat Level, you for putting this broadcast on, and everyone that puts this series on. Thanks to everyone, and see everyone next week.
Absolutely, Dalton. Once again, congratulations. And now with our second place finisher, Edward Shear, down with Jeffrey Radke. And yeah, that was a fun run there.
Yeah, Jeffrey Radke just 1 spot too short, and looks like the 46 bunch just had a little bit of a different strategy than you guys in the 3 bunch. But all in all, Jeffrey, it was a great run for you guys tonight. I mean, 1-2 is definitely got to be good for the Threat Level Midnight Motorsports group. And talk us through your night.
Well, kind of whiffed qualifying there. Started in the back, had to avoid any chaos and make my way up front. And then I give my strategy to Kyle Spees. Once I saw him dip in with about 50 to go, I figured he was cutting it in half from there. So I took on his strategy, and it panned out. We both came out with incredible track position, and it was just a matter of getting past him and staying in front of him. I knew Dalton was pretty much checked out from the moment the night began.
Yeah, I mean, I was telling Emerson before, you know, when you see the 3 and the 25 coming, I mean, you know, it's a long run waiting to happen. I mean, both of you guys look like you know how to make that long run prevail for both of your trucks to make that work. I mean, is that just something that you find that's your best success in the long runs, or is it just something that it depends at each and every track?
Oh, no, absolutely. Long run, saving tires, keeping the speed under the truck. That's your best way to prevail, especially whenever we're fortunate enough to go caution-free like we did.
Now, we don't have the points and all that yet, but I know we can start to talk about it a little bit. You think with how you ended last season becoming the champion and You think the three bunch can maybe possibly go back to back? What do you think about your chances going for this back to back?
I mean, the last 5 tracks are pretty high on the favorites list. Darlington's going to be tough. If we can get another caution-free race, that would definitely fall into my hand. But I mean, I like all the tracks, so we're definitely going to be running up front, hopefully, unless we have something else happen.
Well, Jeffrey, no matter what, man, congratulations on the second place tonight, and look forward to seeing you in South Carolina at Darlington Raceway.
Yes, thank you very much, and thanks to Genesis Technologies.
And so that was our second place finisher, driver of the number 3, Jeffrey Radke, who was hot in pursuit of his teammate Dalton McKinney. Finishing third tonight, last week's winner, driver of the number 25, Kyle Spees. And Kyle, this one, I mean, just stacking up the good runs here right into the playoffs. You got that, second win last week to really put yourself on top of the table. This should solidify a regular season championship. All the signs are pointing for this 25 machine. But now it's go time. Now it's the playoffs. How are you feeling? How are you feeling with tonight's run?
Just like I said last weekend, I feel pretty good. Now that we're going into playoffs, I'll definitely lock in more with the tracks and try to do a little bit better. I don't mind finishing top 3 here and there, but when playoffs come, obviously I'm going to try to win every race. Tonight was a little different. I think Dalton had it in the bag, just like Jeff said, but we're going to start battling a little harder, I think, come playoff time.
Absolutely, Kyle. And this one, I mean, Ed kind of alluded to it in his interview with Jeffrey, but you guys, you kind of got caught out a little bit towards the back of the field, but you really just prevailed with the long run. And then these mile and a halves where I'll give it to the series with the last time out at Texas, not last time out, but 2 weeks ago at Texas, with a long green flag run there. Actually, I think it was caution free besides the stage, and a pretty long or caution-free stage 2 here. It's these long green flag runs at these mile and a halves that they really play into your style with some more mile and a halves coming up. Can you apply this to those future races?
Yeah, I think you can. I think just like Jeff does go out on the track, we both have a lot of patience when it comes to racing, where we don't try to just burn our tires and go for position right off the bat. We're both very content with sitting maybe mid-pack and coming through the field a little bit. With the mile and a half tracks, I do think it plays in our favor. Just the speed at the end, if we need it, I think we all have with the practice we put in. And then just saving tires has helped a ton, as it's shown tonight. Even with the pit stop, just going on a long run and doing our long run stand, we spread ourselves out pretty far. So I think more patience we have and just going and battling at the right time and attacking at the right time will help us more in the playoffs.
Well, Kyle, congratulations on the third place finish tonight. And I won't officially say it until points come out, but I'll just say the pending regular season champ with this great podium finish to kind of wrap up the regular season. Congratulations once again on that third place finish, and best luck to you here come playoff time.
Thank you.
And so that was our podium finishers tonight here at Kansas. Now let's go through the rest of our race results, as they will be appearing up on your screen, and so be it. So here we are with the race victory. Dalton McKinney, again, a dominant victory, a 3.6 second margin of victory here at Kansas over second place finisher Jeffrey Radke, third place finisher Kyle Spees. Finishing fourth, then Matthew Greathouse. Fifth, Ben Morrow. Corey Stahl will finish sixth. Wally Babb seventh. Aaron Gerwitz eighth. Sean Long, nice quiet day for the 84th machine. He'll finish ninth. And Nathan De La Rosa to round out the top 10. Ed?
Yeah, Joshua Marcy in the 35 truck finishes 11th for JBR Motorsports. Ben Park in that one truck finishes 12th, who was our outside pole sitter for the night. Scott Kalal, who won the stage in a dominating fashion, an exciting one, as we could both say, in that first stage, finishes 13th. Dylan Godinez, who we're going to have to check and see how that plays out, who makes that cut off of that last truck in, finishes 14th. In the 88 truck, Michael Seidel, his teammate, rounds out in 15th. Sean Corker in 16th. And then our first truck, a lap down in 17th, would be Zachary Hines. And then from on there, from 18th, Austin DeLong in the 89. Daniel Miglin in the 31, also in 19th. And then Daniel Park, who looked like he had a strategy going on, just barely could make it off fuel. rounds out the top 20 to finish the night.
Finishing 21st, Dustin Slider finishing second in stage 1. Will the map work out in his favor? We still await to see. Spencer Brown then finishes 22nd. Joe Ruggles 23rd, Connor Cunningham 24th. That wraps up all the drivers 1 lap down. Connor needed to start tonight's race to lock himself into the playoffs, and albeit he missed the initial start of the race, but he did make it onto the track, and that was enough. The 24 is into the playoffs. Michael Lepicki finishes 25th, bringing out the first caution of the day, contacted by Corey Stahl, and then heavy contact with Jason Kratke. And Jason Green will finish 26th, and Kratke, the aforementioned, finishes now 27th. 31 laps off the pace, heavy front end damage to that 54 machine. But that is how these drivers came to the checkers this evening, and it was a very, very fun race tonight here at Kansas Ed. Another green flag run, and it provided dividends, man. I mean, we got great battles up and down the running order.
Yeah, I mean, it's like one of those times where I wish Kansas was every race of the season. I mean, Kansas is easily one of my favorite tracks, besides Dover, of course. I mean, Kansas is it's just electrifying. I mean, you can run the wall, you can run the middle, you can run the bottom, and we saw some exciting 3 wide finishes. We saw an exciting stage ending there with where I thought, taking tires would hurt you in the end. Scott Kowal and the Slider proved me wrong and went up and won the stage and all that, and it was just exciting from start to finish in a great dominated fashion right after that stage from Dalton McKinney. I mean, he started on pole and just absolutely put on a clinic to the end there, and that's definitely going to be big momentum for him and his whole team. But I mean, like we mentioned, and I'm going to say it again, I mean, I feel like Jeffrey Rackey's got to be the favorite, past champion. I mean, he's trying to go back to back. Another one, Kyle Spees, and then, like I mentioned, my sleeper, I think Ben Morrow can shock some people out of that the Bird Dog Racing Group, and I really think with how that short track's going to play out, being that second to last race, I think he can shock some people and make that work. But I mean, I'm excited to get it started. I mean, why not kick it off at one of the tougher tracks? I mean, in Darlington. I mean, you and me both know it's hard to pass. You're going to end up hitting the wall. It's a given thing. You're not going to be a clean truck. Somebody's going to scrape it at least once. So I'm excited to get to Darlington. It's going to be fun.
Absolutely, Ed. And so we are going to stay on the air. We are going to be expecting a points update from JB before the end of the evening tonight. So we will not be going off the air just yet. We will await for those points, and it's definitely going to be something. We can take a look at what the points were coming into today's race. And again, these are not updated. We're just taking a look at what was going on before today's race. And obviously, the top 9 locked in. Harris, that's going to be a question mark. Ben Morrow, one of the drivers, he finished 5th today. He should be A-okay. Scott Kalal recovered to 13th and got the stage victor. He should be A-okay. Ben Park, he finished 12th. Didn't have the best of stages, but 23 above the cut line. He should be fine.
Yeah, I think, it looks like I think I'm going to be for certain. Ben Morrow, Scott, I think you could agree with me on this. Ben Morrow, Scott Kowal, Ben Park, maybe even then Austin DeLong. I think we can guarantee they're locked in.
Well, DeLong is going to be a question mark.
Austin's good. Yeah, I was going to say Austin might be a question mark, but I think Ben, Kowal, and Morrow, I think all three of us can, or both of us can agree. Those 3 are insta locks. I think they both make it pretty simple. Godinez, I know, was the closest one with Slider. Slider finished second in that stage, got 9 points there, but because he had the issues going a lot down and all the tire issues, and Godinez took advantage of that and finished, it was like 6, maybe 7 spots ahead. I think that's going to be the big difference between those two. My big thing is I want to see where Harris shakes out in all this not showing up for tonight's race. So that's going to be
that's huge.
The big question mark. And then, of course, Cracky had the big incident where he finished multiple laps down with the left front broken. And then Miglin also had a tough night. Dan Park, I think, was the only one that we can both honestly say was the one that looked like it could have shocked anybody with the fuel mileage strategy. But I think Dylan Godinez is going to make it. Just barely, though. But the big question mark in my mind is going to be Andrew Harris. I mean, not showing up, and that was a head scratcher for me. I don't know why Andrew Harris didn't show up, knowing that it could, possibly be close to that cutoff line. I mean, if he doesn't make it, he's going to look back and say, oh, why didn't I race that? But, he probably has a good reason for it. And, I understand completely, but it's going to be, one of those make or breaks. I mean, if he makes it, good for him. If he doesn't, he's going to be looking at probably this race or something down the lines of that.
Absolutely. It's going to be very intriguing to see what the word is. And so we do have some final standings. They will be updated on the screen very soon. So we're going to go back to the track just so you guys kind of know what's up. We're going to go back to the track. So the next standings you see will be the updated standings, just as we update them. And this is very exciting because I think this is going to be really, really tight. And we'll just double check that we're all good here, and we are all ready to go. So here is your Season 6 Speed Racing Network Glytch Truck Series field. These are the 15 drivers competing for a championship over the next 5 weeks. And so here it is. Slider makes it in. Godinez makes it in. The long. And yeah, Andrew Harris out by 3. Oh
my god, 3 points.
That's gonna sting for Harris, and Dustin Slider just squeaks in, man.
That second place in the stage basically just guaranteed Slider a spot. Oh my gosh.
If he finished 5th, they would have been tied, and then it would have gone to, I believe,
tiebreaker, right? For best
tiebreakers, best finish on the regular season. I don't know what it goes to. It would probably go to like top 5s or something.
That's so huge. And then I know looking away from that, but look where Dalton McKinney is now. Remember, he was 9th. He jumped to 5th with that win.
This also does solidify Kyle Spees, the regular season champion.
Congratulations.
So, yeah, absolutely. So that's going to be a good haul of playoff points. That's going to be huge on the reset here. So Spees, Radke,
Jason Green too, man. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, Jason Green he didn't have the best of runs today, but this is gonna be intriguing. Connor Cunningham, of course, he makes it in.
Who to pick all this, buddy? Oh man.
Well,
I didn't even think about it. Matthew Greathouse without the win, he's sitting 3rd on standings, basically without the win.
Now I gotta say, just like last season, Matthew Greathouse is the highest driver in points without a win. When will Matthew Greathouse break through, man?
I think it will happen in this playoffs.
You think so? I said it last playoffs that I thought it was going to happen.
I'm going to flip the script, and I'm going to say it this time, so I think maybe it will be a little different. But, I think Matt's just too consistent of a driver that finishes inside the top 5 to where something has to at least break through. And then, I don't know if we can, Emerson, if we could pull up the schedule to just show what these tracks are going to be for some of these, for these 15 drivers, basically what they're going to have to tough with. I mean, just looking at it, Darlington to start in next week, okay? After that is Homestead. I mean, another one of those tracks that can play out just like tonight, where some people can rip the fence, some people are going to rip the bottom. Charlotte, another track that can play into multiple factors. Iowa, the one short track on the playoffs that can make or break somebody. Short track experts like Ben Morrow, who are dominant at short tracks all year, that can surprise you and make wins. And then to end it off at Nashville Super Speedway, I mean, just think about it. Getting a championship trophy handed to you in Nashville, and then you can just go right down the street and basically party yourself off down in Broadway. I mean, seriously, that's the best thing you can do. Just go down to Tennessee and just party your butt off the whole night and say you're a champion of the sport.
So we can't. Oh well, we didn't have it right there, but we can't get those standings up. Yeah, you're absolutely right. It's pretty great. We got those standings coming up now right here. There we go. I'm sorry, the standings, the schedule. But you're right. The thing is, Ed, these rounds different, man. This is unlike many
so different
racing series. We're doing 2 race rounds. If you have a bad race in one of these rounds, man, you better win. You better win the other race.
And the tough thing is, I think the toughest race in this playoffs is going to be the one that we go to next week. I think Darlington's going to basically be that Talladega like we have in real life. Darlington's, it's just that tough. that turn 2 wall, when you're side by side, you have to hit your marks perfect or else you're hitting that wall. Same thing in 3 and 4. You can get stupid sideways if you run the bottom a bad certain way, and you can spin right down to that inside wall. Even the pit road, Emerson. The pit road is the trickiest pit road in all of NASCAR. It is so tough to get on pit road.
Absolutely. 100% I agree. But that is the schedule coming up. Once again, one more look at those playoff standings. It is official. These are the 15 we're going into battle with next week out in Darlington. And then the week after that is Homestead, where we'll cut it from 15 to 10. And then 2 weeks from there is Iowa, where we'll cut it from 10 to 5. And after that, Nashville, the first of the finish line out of those 5, will be the champion. And so that is our playoff grid. And as far as for us, I think that'll do it for us here from the Kansas Speedway. Ed, it was a great race tonight, but I think that'll do it tonight. I want to give a shout out to everyone out there who tuned in and joined us for tonight's action. We hope you enjoyed tonight's broadcast. And for all at Speed Racing Network, I had Ed Shearer and myself, Emerson Arden. I want to give a huge shout out to all of our partners here at Speed Racing Network: Glytch, ThermoPro, and Admin Box. Of course, Glytch is the series namesake. Make sure you use code SRN10 for 10% off of your Glytch purchases. For ThermoPro, of course, a huge partner here at SRN. Make sure you use code ThermoProTeam for 15% off of your ThermoPro purchases. And Admin Box, our starting good presentation, and has been on your screen all evening long, presented by Admin Box. Make sure you use code SRN-Box, that's BLXX, for 10% off of your Admin Box purchases. Huge shout out to everyone watching on YouTube, where if you're watching on YouTube, we would greatly appreciate it if you'd like and subscribe and keep supporting us here at SRN. And you could also become a Speed Racing Network premium member and join the premium membership program. Get access to loyalty badges, custom emojis, exclusive wallpapers and photos, early access to new content, member shoutouts, members only live chats, and priority reply to comments. You can join today by hitting the blue join button next to the subscribe button on our YouTube channel. I want to shout out all of our social media outlets where you can keep up with all things SRN: our Facebook page at facebook.com/Speed Racing Network, our X page at Speed Racing Net, our Instagram at instagram.com/Speed Racing Network, our YouTube at youtube.com/Speed Racing Network, our Twitch at Speed Racing Net, our LinkedIn at linkedin.com/company/Speed Racing Network, and of course the website where you can keep up with all things SRN. SpeedRacingNetwork.com has news, schedules, points, and all that jazz. How to join, all there at SpeedRacingNetwork.com. Once again, thank you all so much for watching. We'll see you next time out for playoff race number 1 from Darlington, South Carolina.